Hello, welcome to Soulprint Intuitive Tarot. I'm so glad you have found me. Welcome to new viewers and new subscribers. I'm just absolutely thrilled. So, today is June 15th, which means yesterday Trump turned 43. So we are aware of the fact that his cognitive skills don't seem to be that sharp. We are, generally speaking, as you age, those are, that skill diminishes. So, given the fact that he's now another year older, I thought that I would take a look and see what I can see today. So, I have questions, and it is, what's going on in Trump's mind right now? How is he? What are his thoughts? What is preoccupying his thought process? What's going on with him? So, we're going to give these a good shuffle. And we're going to, once again, tune into Trump, which I swear to you people is not the most pleasant experience. But we're going to do it. And let's just take a look and see if we can figure out what's going on in that mind of his. Aside, of course, from the fact that we understand that he is a very intelligent, stable genius. Okay, goes without saying, absolutely goes without saying. But let's see what's actually going on in that crazy mind of his. So, a couple more shuffles, and I think we should be good to go. And down you come. Okay. Trump. 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 Well, lucky boy. Okay. On some level, on in some part of his brain, in some part of his thinking process, Trump actually acknowledges and recognizes that things are going to change. They're not going to stay the same. He cannot sustain what is going on now. He simply can't. He's physically and mentally not able to even conduct himself as erratically as he is. So going forward, you can only expect more and more erratic. But whether it's a combination of the fact that that he has just celebrated a birthday, or whether it is more about the fact that the next election cycle has really kicked into gear, and there's all these challengers, and the debates are coming up. And on some level, Trump just doesn't like the fact that he recognizes that the attention is going to be sort of drifting away from him a little bit. And to him, that really does feel like a death. I mean, this man just so cannot function without that continual, 2.0 adoration. He just can't do it. So he feels that there's big changes coming, and in fact, he's not wrong. There are big changes coming. He's incredibly emotional these days. Not surprising. And with that emotions, that excess of emotion, is also a complete inability to settle his mind, to stay on focus, to think sequentially and logically. Frankly, it's just beyond his skill set. And any ability he at one time had to do that is gone. It is swept away in this intense emotions that he's trying to cope with right now. to some degree, his mind is always on money, and he's concerned that the Trump family name and brand and dynasty is shrinking. Their net worth is dropping, and so there's some part of his brain that's really kind of stressed about kind of the money situation. He's angry and he likes to lash out like a toddler. That's just how he behaves. He just gets mad and cranky, and when things don't go the way he wants, or he feels that they should come to him faster and right now, it just upsets him. I mean, this tells a really clear story, right? He doesn't have any patience. He doesn't want to wait. He does what he wants, and he does it now. It's his idea. It's a brilliant idea. That's all he cares about. And he charges in, irregardless of the consequences or ramifications. It does not even enter his mind. He is becoming more and more delusional. He's aware of the fact that things are breaking down. And he feels betrayed. He's starting to really feel betrayed. Part of what's going on here is that the GOP are starting to push back. Now, not huge and not big, but it was only, I don't know, a week ago? It feels like an eternity when they said no to the Mexican tariff increase. It was a couple days ago where they said, no, you don't accept help from foreign agents when it comes to a re-election. And no, not everyone does it. And no, it's not accepted behavior. Well, think about that. To a man who was used to always having everybody say, of course, you're brilliant, couldn't have figured it out without you, those two rebukes in really a very short period of time have sent him in a bit of an emotional tailspin. And I suspect that there's a few more of those coming. So he's going to become very even more agitated, and his behavior is going to become even more sarcastic, belligerent, and toxic. He's very worried about money. He's greedy. He's thinking a lot about connections and contacts across the sea. China in particular, Russia, and the Arab states. So his thoughts are trying to figure out how to monetize that for him and his family. This has nothing to do with politics. Of course, not one thing he's done really has had to do with politics. It's all been for personal financial gain. But his thoughts, it's kind of like this. He sort of sees the end coming, and so he's trying to get everything in place to sustain him long term. Exactly like what the GOP is doing with all the judges. They know the end's coming. They can see the writing on the wall. They're not completely stupid. And so they're trying to flood the courts with as many judges as they can, because that will be their legacy. That will, what they believe, what will carry them forward. Even when they're not in power, they will have put in place judges who are going to judge based on GOP principles, basically. His strength is diminishing. I don't think he's feeling actually very well, like literally physically within his body. I don't think he's in very good shape. He's perpetually juggling things. He can't find a balance. He's always off key. He worries a lot. He doesn't sleep. And this is increased because remember, this is the way I formulated the question. This is about how is Trump doing like now. So he's worried. He doesn't sleep well. He's agitated. He's not feeling well. He can't find a balance. And I do appreciate that he is, Mr. Chaos. But even people who thrive in chaos, they tend to like chaos outside of them. They want to watch the chaos. They want to watch people being in chaos. They don't necessarily, not so comfortable when it's their internal chaos. And he has a lot of that right now, and he's having a really hard time finding a balance. He feels like people have abandoned him. People have left him. He feels like he's going to have to walk away from what he believed was, the greatest accomplishment of his life. So he's recognizing in some way that the writing is on the wall, but because it's Trump, it's really hard to understand if he recognizes it. I was going to say intellectually, but that's just like not. If he understands the words, but does not necessarily feel any emotion connected to it but fear and I need to fight back. So on one hand, he's worried about the future. He's trying to get things organized and position himself. But on the other hand, it's almost as if okay, this is a terrible analogy, and I apologize to anybody it offends. I just can't think of another one right now. It's like when a family member, a loved one, is dying. And you're in the hospital and you're in palliative care and you see the deterioration, but there's some part of your brain that intellectually understands that their life is drawing to a close. But emotionally, when they pass, you're still completely unprepared for it. It's like you could deal with it in your head, you could deal with the words, but when the emotions hit, they hit hard. And that's kind of what it's like. It's like he hears the words, but he doesn't really, for such an emotional man, he's actually really emotionally quite stymied, quite flat. So he hears the words, he just doesn't feel. It's not an emotional response to him that goes beyond fight back and blow up. That seems to be sort of the extent of his emotional range. Lovely. He's trying to figure out what tricks, how does he distract? How does he change the subject? What crazy thing does he have to say or do to get people off whatever it is they're thinking and talking about now that he doesn't like because it reflects badly on him? He's forever trying to manipulate the situation. He feels that some of those recent victories have helped him in the long run. He really likes the Mueller report because he hasn't read it. He says that the Queen, honestly, the Queen enjoyed his visit more than she has any visit in the last 25 years. Let's just pause for a moment and think about some of the amazing, incredible people the Queen has met with. Not even in the last 25 years. Let's just go 10 years. Let's go 5 years. But nope, Trump, she enjoyed him more than anybody. He sees victory where there is not victory. And people don't want to tell him otherwise because then he attacks the messenger. Not good. He's really defensive. He's really, he's trying to push away that which is negative and infuse the conversation about that which he perceives as positive. Some people have said, like, Trump is that guy who it doesn't matter if the publicity is good or bad, just as long as you spell my name right. That's not actually, I don't see it as that way exactly. It's more like spell the name right, always make it positive, and if it's not positive, spin the crap out of it so you turn it positive. Switch things around so that in your head, what should have been a negative becomes a radiant positive. It's just the way his brain kind of works. He's got, people are coming after him. People are saying, it's not the right thing to do. You're not handling this very well. Other world leaders are pulling away from you. It doesn't bother him. He believes that his sword is mightier than any sword in the world. He has more power than anyone in the world. He is more special than anyone in the world. And he is currently trying to figure out a way to increase his power, increase his clout, and increase the importance of what he says and does. And it's not going to work because, people have figured it out. He feels abandoned. He feels lost. He recognizes it's time for him to walk away, and he will. I mean, the question is whether he is forced to walk away or whether he's pushed to walk away. So, I'm not so convinced that Trump had an amazing 73rd birthday last year. It's a Father's Day weekend. So his energy is focused to some degree on family, but it's only focused on family in a peripheral way. He never focuses on family. He just doesn't. But I'm not getting any relaxed vibes. I'm not getting any content or at peace or celebratory even. What I'm getting is agitation, frustration, low bubbling anger, manipulation, trying to figure out how to spin things, turn things around, make them work to his advantage. So that was my journey into Trump's mind, frightening though it is. So once again, thank you very, very much to my subscribers and viewers. I'm incredibly grateful. I hope you enjoy this weekend and do some fun stuff and just take a little bit of time to relax, count your blessings and try to push the craziness of Trump and his administration, not away, but perhaps just to the side so that, you can infuse your own self with some calm and some clarity. Again, thank you so much for joining me, and be well, take care, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye-bye.